it's according to the rule set. So there is biology. That's part of the rule set, just like physics is part of the rule set. So all the rules of biology, which has all the rules of illness as well, the things that can happen, the rule set defines what are the possibilities, what can happen in this virtual reality. Illness is one of the things that can happen, and it's defined by the rule set. You know, they just render what you see, but they have to render it according to the rule set. The stuff that's not being seen is as if you had a brain, as if you had a heart and circulatory system. It's as if you had all those things. So according to the rule set, how you act and the things that you do are rendered as if. So see, that's the key. So it's as if you had all these things. So your heart now can get diseases. So can your liver and other organs. There's diseases they can get. There's things that can happen to them according to the rule set. So if those things do happen because you were in the wrong place at the wrong time, or you spend too much of your life doing things that make those diseases more likely to happen, then it's just a random draw from that probability distribution. And if it turns out, oh, you've got liver disease because of the physical things you have done, maybe lung cancer if you had been an installer of ceilings and walls with asbestos in them. Now your probability for that goes way up. So as the rule set defines you, well, that probability is high for you. If you're an asbestos installer back in the 50s and 60s, when asbestos was the miracle thing that was used everywhere. So in any case, it's all according to the rule set. It may be that if you haven't done anything to change the probabilities, then it's just a natural probability of the rule set. And when you take that random draw, most of the time you'll get things that are more probable. Most of the time you'll draw something out under the fat part of the curve. That's the nature of taking a random draw from a probability distribution. But sometimes you can get that 1 in 100 thing, that 1 in 10,000 thing that's a possibility, but is very unlikely. It doesn't happen often, but it does. So if it happens 1 in 1,000, then you'll find that disease occurs about 1 in 1,000 people in the population, because that's the probability of that happening, you see. And whether it's you or somebody else, well, if all the other probabilities are even, then that's just that random draw. I'm Tom Campbell. I'm glad you're here. I hope you're enjoying the content. If you do like our content, then you should consider being a Patreon member, because Patreon members get early access to our special content. You will also be able to get your questions answered by me in special Q&A sessions just for the Patreon members. And most importantly, your contribution as a patron member will enable us to produce the content that you're looking for. So thank you. Some people spend their lives angry all the time, always complaining, always fighting, always fussing and fuming. Those people raise their probability for all sorts of diseases, just because that attitude will raise the probability of arterial sclerosis, for instance, kidney problems, all sorts of things that follow tension and stress. So the system that renders us is very aware of the rule set and all the possibilities and their probabilities. And we generally grow and go through life according to how those random draws are taken. And most of the time we fall somewhere under the fat part of the curve, but sometimes we don't. And the idea is that all those things are just experiences in which you get to make choices. So if you draw the rare blood cancer card because that was 1 in a million, but you just happen to have that come up, then you get to deal with that experience. So everything's a learning experience. And if you don't have that card come up, then you have other things. that you have to deal with. So it doesn't really matter too much in the bigger picture. If you draw out a 1 in a million problem, that's not likely going to happen, except maybe 1 in every million incarnations, if it's a 1 in a million problem, you see. So stuff happens, but in the bigger picture, it all works out, and it all gives you a wider range of experiences from which you can grow.